In this video, I want to show you how to set up a 17 by 11 PowerPoint template that you can use to create your CAD portfolio with. So the first thing you want to do is open PowerPoint. You may have an icon down here on your taskbar that you can click on, or you may need to go over to your Start button and pick on Start. And then you're going to scroll down, because usually PowerPoint is found in the folder with your Microsoft Office products. So if I choose the down arrow on Microsoft Office, then this folder right here, I can go down and find my PowerPoint and click on that. So that opens up a new session of PowerPoint. And what I'm going to do is come right in here and double click on this icon that says blank presentation. So what opens is a new slide, and I want to set this slide to where it has an aspect ratio of 17 inches by 11 inches. And I'm going to show you how to put a border on it and how to add a text box to it. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of these two text boxes that come in automatically with the slide. So I'm going to pick on the edge of that and press delete, and just pick on the edge of that one and press delete. You can also select those with a window that you pick from left to right like that, and that would also capture those. So let's set the slide size to 17 by 11. So we'll come up here, and there's a tab on the upper left that says Design. Pick on Design. Follow your mouse all the way over to the right at the top, and it says Slide Size, and pick on the down arrow. At the bottom it says Custom Slide Size. Pick that. And when the dialog box opens up, put your cursor in the box where it says Width. And I just swipe my cursor in there, and I'm going to type 17 here because I want that to be 17 inches. So I'm going to come down and pick in the box that says what the height is going to be. I'm going to pick there, and I'm going to swipe that. I'm going to type 11. And I can come back and pick it in the one up above. But anyway, you can see that it says 17 inches by 11 inches. And then I want to choose OK. And I usually choose Ensure Fit. And this is more important if you already have images in your slideshow, because what it does is it ensures that any images you have will fit on the new slide. And that doesn't affect us here because we don't have any images in our slideshow yet. So here's my first slide, and I can make copies of this slide. I can make 25 or 30 copies of that, and then I can insert images or whatever I want into my portfolio that way. But I want to show you how to put a border on this first slide. One way to do that is come up here and pick on Home, and go over to the drawing tools that you have in PowerPoint, and just pick on the rectangle, and pick and hold down with your pick button and drag this all the way over here to the lower right like that. And what you're probably seeing on the screen right here, these are my recording tools, so just kind of ignore those. But you can see it came in with a rectangle that actually is blue. That means that's because it has a filled background on it. So what I'm going to do is pick on the edge of that rectangle and right click and go down to the list at the very bottom where it says Format Shape. I'm going to pick on that. Now I have the option for my fill and for a line that would go around the edge of the rectangle. So first I'm going to choose Fill, and it's already set to solid fill. If I pick no fill, now it's just clear on the inside of my rectangle. But at this point, no line would show up if I finish editing what I've got right here. So I'm going to pick on the line option. If I don't want a line, I can pick right there, and that would completely remove any line. If I pick on solid line, which is the default, I can come over here and change the color. So let's say I'm trying to make a border, and I want to make the border a color. Let me choose one of these blues down here. I'll choose that right there. And then I'm going to come down to where it says width, and I'm going to pick on the up arrow. Just one click at a time. I could just type in what I want this to be, but you can see that as I pick on the up arrow, the thickness of the border keeps getting thicker and thicker. So right now, that's what a 4-point thickness would look like on that line. So I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to pick in the field of the drawing like that right there, or the field of the slide. So now I have a border on there. So if I make a copy of this slide here, all of those copies will have the border on there. So let's do a little more customization on this. I'm going to pick on the Insert tab, and I'm going to choose Text Box, and I'm going to draw a text box like that right there. And what I want to do, I'm going to, same thing, I can have a solid fill, I can have a solid line that will go around that, and I can change the color. Let's say I want that to be black, and I can change the width. Again, I can pick on the up arrow until that comes in like that. And at that point, now if you want to have a solid fill, let me just show what you can do. You can pick solid fill, and you can choose a color. Let's say I want gray. I can do that right like that. Now, once I've created that text box, I can pick inside of it, and I can start typing. So I'm just typing the letter D right there. But what I'm going to type is actually, I'm going to type out the word inventor, because that's one of the softwares that I use. And then I'm going to swipe that, and what that brings up is my text editor, and I'm going to choose the centered option, so it centers my text in there. The other thing I can do is highlight that, and let me make that larger. I'm going to make that, let's see, let me just make it 36. I could bold it if I wanted to, or not, make it italicized or underlined or whatever I want to do. And I think that's good. I'm just going to pick out here. So what I'm going to do is drag that box by its edge, and I'm going to place it. Now let me put it like kind of right there, for example. All right, so if I make a slide, or if I copy this slide now, it will have some editable text, it will have this text box, and it will have this border on it. So the important thing is, before you start copying the slides or making multiple copies, is that you get your slides set up the way you want it to be. So there are a lot of options that you could do with this, but those are a couple of the basics. Now, if you go over here and you right click and you choose copy or duplicate slide, either one, that's a good way to duplicate the slide. You can continue to duplicate the slide. So let's say I duplicate it 4 times. Well, then what I can do is I can pick and hold down Shift and come down here and pick, and it selects all 4 of those. Then I can right click and I can pick copy. And now I've copied all 4 of those slides to my clipboard. Now I can pick right here and right click and choose paste. And now I can copy 4 more. So if I want to continue to make a bunch more slides, I can pick here, hold down Shift, pick here, right click on that. You can duplicate slides. That's another way to create multiple copies. So at this point, I have a total of 16 slides, and I could continue to make as many slides as I want. Now, when I double click on a slide, that slide opens up, and I can add images or text or whatever to this slide. So if I go back to the first slide is usually going to be your cover slide. And so it may not look exactly like all the other slides, but everybody does their cover slide in a different way. So what I'm going to do is stop right here, and I'm going to come back in a minute, and I'm going to add some images to this, and I'm going to show you how to add those images in the next video.